Hello, this is the Insurance Perspectives podcast presented by HawkSoft. And on today's show, we have a special presentation that was recorded at the 2025 HawkSoft User Group National Conference. Jeff White, social media manager at HawkSoft and the producer on this podcast, spoke at a roundtable session about the secrets to success on social media and how to create an effective campaign. He shares his 3 key principles for agencies to succeed: be consistent, be genuine, be patient, and discuss a quick outline on how to create an engaging campaign. Jeff has been managing brands on social media since 2014, and his experience includes starting brands from scratch, developing engaging community campaigns, and creating unique strategies that stand out. In addition, he's well-versed in creating captivating video content, and as I mentioned, is the producer of this podcast you're listening to at this very moment, the Insurance Perspectives podcast. In his free time, he enjoys going on adventures with his wife, looking for the best slice of pizza in town, and attending minor league baseball games. We hope you enjoy the presentation, and be sure to leave the podcast a review on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Thank you. Here's Jeff White on social media.
My name is Jeff White. I'm the social media manager at HawkSoft. I've been doing it here for 4 years. I've been managing brands on social media for about a decade, which makes me feel very old, even though I know I'm not. And so we have the 3 secrets. I'm going to share 3 secrets. They're going to be pretty simple. And then I'm going to kind of at the end do a quick little rundown of what I do to create a campaign, or the steps that I do. And I do understand that, I'm a social media specific person, and some of you might not have that person in your agency. But either way, I want to share this with you, so at least can help you get the ball rolling in your head. So by utilizing these 3 secrets, you will nurture the client relationship, increase your digital presence, and then just kind of increase your credibility online. And those are the big things that social media, I think, can do for you. A lot of people get kind of lost in the virality of, I got 1,000 views on something, and it's like, okay, cool, but what does that mean, right? What are you doing with that? I'll be doing this from HawkSoft's point of view, and yeah, let's get going. And feel free to raise your hand if you have any questions, even if it's not specifically about what I'm asking, but if you have any other questions about formats and whatnot, please raise your hand. So the first secret I always like to tell people is be consistent. I'll share this with you really quick, but HawkSoft, we're not reinventing the wheel with our social media strategy, right? So I've been here for 4 years. Since I've been here, we've increased our audience total by about 180%. And we've just been posting twice a week on Facebook, twice a week on Instagram, and once a week on LinkedIn. That's it. Nothing else wild. You know my secret, but I'm not trying to bombard people because, people are on their phone 18 hours a day practically, right? So that's kind of what we do on social media in terms of cadence. The importance of being consistent on social media really kind of pertains to 2 things, really. It shows your insureds, your audience, that you're active, right? How many people here probably, when you find a restaurant you like, you Google them and then you go, where's the menu? Or you look them up further to gain credibility. It's oh, they're on Facebook. Okay, they posted 2 days ago. They exist. Great, I want to go there. You know what I mean? So it kind of just boosts your overall online presence. And this is a slightly existential thought of mine, but by posting and being consistent and doing twice a week, the algorithms on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, they see that consistency and they like that because they ultimately want people to stay in their platforms, right? That's what they want. I won't get too far into the existentialism. It's too early in the morning for that. But you know what I mean? You want to just show your audience that you're active, and it shows the algorithm that you're active. So another kind of question I get after this typically is, I explained it a little bit, but, what to post and how much. I told you how much we post. But in terms of what, I like to treat each platform like if it was a person. HawkSoft's Facebook and Instagram speaks differently than HawkSoft's LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn's typically a little more educational, a little more sharing what's happening with your company. Facebook is a little more happy, positive. Well, that's just HawkSoft's. We never post anything negative, but it's always positive, honoring an employee, stuff like that. So I kind of challenge agents to look at, you have different audiences. Sometimes, you might follow that person on all 3 platforms or something, but Rachel follows somebody in 4 different places. She doesn't want to see the same thing 4 different times, right? So she would still wants to see content, but she, wants to see something different. So you kind of have to speak to your audience, and people go to LinkedIn to network and be annoying on sales messages, right? And then people go to Facebook and Instagram to see what their kids are doing or stuff like that. So like the different intentions from the audience, I think, contribute to how you should speak to your audience. I explained our cadence 2-2-1, but in terms of when to post, this is again from HawkSoft's point of view. We're a family company, so I don't like to impede on family time with our audience. So we stay away from posting on weekends. People are out at soccer practice. People are out doing things. Why am I going to post then? And then typically I stay away from Mondays and Fridays because the joke is Friday everyone's golfing, and then Monday everyone's recovering from the weekend, right? So I stick to those middle 3 days. And a recent study came out from Sprout Social. They're like a social media scheduling platform. They said on Facebook, weekdays between 9 to 12. Instagram, you can do Monday through Thursday, 10 to 3. And then LinkedIn, Tuesday, Thursday, 10 to 1. So a general rule of thumb, as long as you're sticking to that middle of the week and not posting at midnight or not posting at 5 o'clock when people are driving home, I think you'll be okay there. We have resources at HawkSoft, our partners. We have some partners here that can help you with scheduling social media software or social media content. So I believe Lyft Local, Anthem, they are here. And then not here in the boat, we also have Client Circle, Agency Revolution, Levitate. So all those people can help you like schedule content so you can remain consistent and whatnot. There's some other ones like Sprout Social's one, but y'all don't need that. That's too big. So be consistent is kind of my first tool. I'll say this later, but quality over quantity always. And then my next secret on social media is, it's a little existential, but whatever. Be genuine. There's so much out there, right? There's so much out there. There's so much noise. How are you going to stand out? I can say the story of the purple cow, but I'm assuming everybody knows about the purple cow experience and how we got that mantra. And basically the idea is, if you're driving down the side of the road and you see a field of brown cows and there's a purple cow, what would you do? You would take a picture, you'd get out of the car, tell your friends, stuff like that. So I encourage people to be that purple cow in social media and kind of stand out, right? You know what I mean? Find what your agency is all about, core values or what you guys like, and create content towards that. Like a Happy Easter post is great, but I would always encourage people to do something a little different. Like if that's a big holiday, great, but posting an image that says Happy Easter, everyone's gonna do that. So like maybe you do something different where you interview your staff and you say, what does Easter mean to you? And you post like a 50-second reel. Like that's just gonna be a lot more personable, and then people in your audience are gonna see your staff a lot more. So just don't add to the noise. That's kind of my genuine thing. Audiences are also very smart, and so, well, maybe I can just spot it, but audiences are very smart, so they can spot like non-genuine content, right? Or AI-generated content. Don't even get me started about AI content. So I would encourage, again, to make it unique, fun, specific to you if you have core values. Like, I think I'll talk about it a little later, but HawkSoft has 8 core values. I can say all 8 of them, I promise. No, I don't think I can, but like we have a couple: attitude of gratitude and whatnot. All of our content goes back to our core values. So I'll explain that later, but if I have something and I don't have a core value to attach it to, I don't post it. An example of HawkSoft kind of standing out from the rest is it was June, it was National Insurance Day, and I was like looking on social media and everybody's just going, Happy National Insurance Day, check your policy, and I would see, no likes, no interactions, nothing. I'm like, okay, so what can HawkSoft do differently that can help, that could stand out on that day? So on National Insurance Day, agents are encouraged to like check in with their insureds to renew their policy or whatnot. And so basically what I did is for HawkSoft is we would just post resources for you, right? So instead of saying Happy National Insurance Day on all platforms, on Instagram, we posted a reporting testimonial. So just a quick 30-second clip of someone saying how great our reporting feature is. On Facebook, we reposted a blog about HawkLink, because that helps you guys fill in information and carry your websites. And then on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, we did a thread of like all those things, because that's pertinent to that platform. So we did something different. We didn't just add to the noise. Yeah, we were focused on kind of just adding value to our audience. To close out the Be Genuine, again, a lot of content these days. Why should people interact with you, right? Why should they like your content? Why should they view it? Stuff like that. And so just kind of always think about that when you're creating stuff. So be genuine. And then here's my last 3 secrets to success, and it's be patient. This is kind of a thing of mine, like, and this is all pertaining to organic social media, which is you just post it, right? You're not throwing any money at this. But success doesn't happen overnight on social media. I would argue that if it does, it might not be the audience that you want, right? It might not be the customers that you want. Social media has a lot of, the term is vanity metrics, but like metrics that you think that means you're doing good, but like, are you really? Like, sure, if your video gets 30,000 views, great, but what does that really mean, right? And I'm going to read a clip from an article from Forbes, which I like this a lot, but it's talks about playing the long game in marketing and the short game. So the short game skips the introduction and immediately asks the consumer to buy now without building the relationship with the consumer. The short game is most effective after the long game has laid the groundwork. A lot of people think social media is, you post that one post, oh, I'm going to get like 5 leads. I'm going to get 10 leads from that. It's like, you could, but you most likely won't, right? It's all about nurturing that client relationship. Like when people call in, you guys nurture that client relationship, you follow up with them. This is another way to connect with them and to further that relationship is social media. And I just think that's really important because, again, if you want to convert now, in marketing, there's typically 5 to 7 steps at least beforehand that helped you get to that point. An example of this was with Amelia, we had a Hug regional meeting, and I posted on HawkSoft's LinkedIn, and she messaged me, and she's like, I got 7 signups. Did you post something? And I go, yeah, I posted on LinkedIn. And so she was just like, well, thank you, I appreciate it, but it just went to show that it was like far after when registration opened. It was just a buildup of all the posts that she's done and the emails she's done and the posts that I've done. And so it's just about it's weird. You got to hit the customers at the right time. Being patient is important. Viral success is a whole nother topic that, you can talk about. But social media is a great way to nurture that client relationship online. It also shows that your clients, that you're willing to meet them where they want to be met, right? Jason might want to be on Facebook. Someone else might want to be on LinkedIn. Someone else might be on X. You're meeting your clients where they want to be met. And again, that develops that client relationship with that is big. So just to kind of wrap up my secrets here, be consistent. Again, quality over quantity. Be genuine. Point towards your agency's core values. And then finally, be patient. Again, success doesn't happen overnight. So before I move into my last little blurb, does anybody have any questions or want help, like brainstorming content? I'm happy to help with that. Yeah.
Do you have like tips for building your following, like getting people even onto your like us on Facebook?
Yeah. So I think something we did that kind of helped us a lot, which you probably all have seen, but we do this holiday campaign where we give away stuff every December and give away stuff. We give away fun prizes related to Christmas. It's the 5 days before Christmas. And we would email people every other day about it. And I think that was helpful for us for really getting our Instagram audience up, because I started Instagram for us, what year is it, 2025? 2023 we started in August, and we're at 600 followers, which is not bad. But that helped us get our Instagram way up, our Instagram following way up. So I would say, being consistent, dedicated email campaigns about those types of social media campaigns, I think would be helpful. And yeah, just maybe if someone calls in and just say something on the end of the phone or at the end of the call and say, hey, have you liked us on Facebook, or stuff like that. It never hurts. I know there's a lot to say when you're talking to a client, but still, I think that can be helpful. So the last kind of thing I wanted to do here. So I like to have a purpose. I like to know where the boat's going, ship's going. So I always have this strategy document that when I want to create that holiday campaign, I'll actually use that as an example. But I have this strategy document where I just have 5 things that I kind of make sure I have something to that helps me point me in the right direction. So the first thing in this strategy document that I use is a goal or how-to, right? So what's the goal of the campaign? Why am I doing this? It could be something as simple as for the holiday campaign, we want to spread holiday cheer. Are we trying to do something with renewals, whatever? But you got to just have a a North Star to where you're pointing. So a goal or how to. And then for us at HawkSoft, the next is core values. Like I said, if your agency has core values, write down what that campaign supports. So for the Holidays with HawkSoft campaign, sense of community, growth and learning, attitude of gratitude. So like those are big core values for us. And that's kind of what that campaign pointed to. And then 3 is channels utilized. I think like this because this is my job, but you need to write down what channel, what campaign that channel should go to, right? So if you're honoring an employee for being there for 2 years, to me, that is a people-focused, positive, fun thing, which actually that's a terrible example because you probably could go on all 3, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, but I would at least go to Facebook, and then I would actually encourage maybe that employee to post on LinkedIn. What we found successful at HawkSoft was our LinkedIn is actually our highest. We're growing quick on our following, but I made an effort to they hate me now, but the sales team goes to trade shows and I tell them to post. I'm like, I'm not posting as HawkSoft. It's not as successful except when you post it. I'll make a joke because he's not here, but Jerry Fox, he's our carrier relations guy. Every time he posts, he gets 1,000 impressions and tons of people see it. I'm like, Jerry, you got to post every time you're somewhere. That's just a better way to get outreach and get your brand out there is personal on LinkedIn, I would say. So if you're posting to LinkedIn, I would encourage to get your employees involved. If they want to stay off social media, that's fine. We have a couple of people at HawkSoft that don't want to be included, and that's fine. Employee posted content does a lot better on LinkedIn than from pages. So that's channels utilized. Again, and core values dictate our channels for us. So for example, if a campaign supports growth and learning, that goes to LinkedIn. Growth and learning goes to LinkedIn. If it's attitude of gratitude or sense of community, that goes to Facebook or Instagram typically. So that's kind of how I make that decision. And then the 4th thing I kind of focus on is cadence. So that's how important is that to you and how much do you want to post, right? Do you want to post, is this campaign super important to the agency? Do you want to post once a month, twice a week? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And an example I'll mention was we did a data ownership campaign. If you didn't know, HawkSoft doesn't own your data. We never planned to. But we found that some of our competitors hold data hostage when people try to shift out of them. So we started a campaign where we wanted to reach out to prospects and say, hey, we don't hold your data hostage. We're not going to charge you thousands of dollars. And so that's really important to us because we just believe that. So we actually sent out an email for 3 or 4 months in a row. I posted on Facebook every month for 3 or 4 months. And so cadence can be determined by importance. If you're trying to build on something, you might, again, add that consistently, maybe every other week, every week, whatever works for you. After I do that, I just start making the content personally. I use Photoshop to create images typically. Some free tools for agents. Canva is a really good one, which you've probably heard about online. Super smart. It's very good. Yeah, it's very good. For video editing, Adobe Premiere Rush, or you can do CapCut, which is the TikTok sister app. And then I believe Adobe Premiere Rush is also free. But so I just start drafting the content. I'm a little creative like that. And I get one idea and I just kind of roll with it and see how that goes. And that's kind of where I go from there. And then once you kind of have it created and the campaign's ready to go, you can use one of those tools to schedule out the social media. After that, I would encourage, you're not done. You're done, but you're not. You got to respond to people. Even if it's just something super simple, if you post a LinkedIn post about being here at Hug, which you should, and people comment on it, and they say oh, it looks like a ton of fun, just respond and say, yeah, it's been a great time. You know what I mean? Again, you're showing the algorithms that you're there, that you're present, that you're active, and they'll boost your stuff more just because they want people to stay there. So after you post, I would still encourage to respond to comments. You probably won't get tons and tons of comments, which makes it easy to kind of manage. And again, that's another way to nurture the client relationship, right? It's another touch point. So I'm just a HawkSoft employee. I'm not trying to act like I'm an influencer or anything. I just want to help y'all. That's why I'm here. Because social media is very powerful, and you can do a lot with it. And I still genuinely think social media is good, even though social media has turned into an interesting little monster. But yeah, cool. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you, Boat Jeff. And thank you for listening to today's podcast. For the best way to contact today's guest, click the episode description. We appreciate you listening and hope you join us next time on the Insurance Perspectives Podcast.